What is going on, YouTube? This is MotoSarge signing in, and today back at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson here in Columbus, Georgia. And check it out, guys, they let me test ride a 2020 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. So let's roll that intro and get on with today's video.
Got to go make the call. Hard work, banging on the doors in the morning. Hard work, get up and let's go to work.
All right, welcome back, guys. I'm here at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson with my buddy Rev.
What's up?
And today we're going to go over the 2020 CVO Road Glide.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So yeah, this is the 2020 CVO Road Glide, and this color right here is called Sand Dune. This is an awesome color. So there are a lot of things to discuss about the CVO. One thing I really want to tell you about this bike in particular right here, before the halt of production, they actually had this guy sitting there on the line too. So this is actually a bit of a diamond in the rough. This is one of the last ones that they had sitting on the line before production halted. So let's go over some details here. Of course, we're looking at the CVO, so we're going to that 117 engine. Other than that, we do have what is new for 2020, which is the RDRS. So that is a new standard package, Reflex Defensive Rider Systems. It's a collection of technology. It's designed to match motorcycle performance to available traction during acceleration, deceleration, and braking. Front, you're looking at that dual Daymaker adaptive LED headlamp. We have heated grips. These are Kahuna heated grips. As far as our wheels go, we have Fugitive cast aluminum wheels. You have a wireless headset on this. That'll connect you to all your phone contacts. That'll connect you to all that good stuff. We also have the 6.5-inch boom infotainment system. You can zoom in, zoom out on this GPS. I'm gonna go into this for a second just because this thing's so cool. Now this is gonna tell you if you have low gas, and if you have low gas, it's gonna say, hey, you want us to send you to the nearest gas station? You can say yes, it's gonna send you that nearest gas station. It's gonna tell you if you have low tire pressure in the front or in the back. It's gonna tell you bike diagnostics. Like I said, we can zoom into this thing and out. Of course, that is one of the many features here on the CVO Road Glide. Now this guy does have the Boom Audio Stage 2 speakers in the fairing up here. Also, you have the speakers going in the bags as well. It's cranking out a lot more sound than the average Road Glide. This bad boy does have locking saddlebags. So on my key fob, I'm gonna have a lock and an unlock. And right now I can actually do it right here on my column.
That's sick.
So I don't have to use my barrel key. I can go straight into it like that. So you have lots of security, you have lots of comfort, and you have a bad bike. So, like I said, this is the beautiful Sand Dune 2020 Road Glide CVO. Come holler at me, Rev. I'd love to help you out any way that I can. So
Yeah, this bike is clean, man. This bike is clean. Rev, man, you mind if I take this out for a spin today?
Dude, absolutely.
All right, brother, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Hard work, and here we go. Hard work, with the sun, I'm ready to rock. Hard work,
Welcome to the test ride portion of the 2020 CVO Road Glide, guys. My goodness, is this is a tank of a motorcycle. This bike is bad, for lack of better words, man. My goodness, it's like a road sofa. So comfortable. Now I know exactly why people with baggers are always trying to tell me, hey, you got a Dyna, it's a nice bike, but you don't know what you're missing. And they're not lying. This thing, wow, incredible. So, I don't know. Hopefully the wind is pretty good today and the view is all right, because normally, you know, I'm sitting a little bit differently and got the camera set up a little bit different, but hopefully it's coming through okay, because I would hate to have to record this one again. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it on purpose so I get to ride this bike again. Just kidding. But again, thanks to Fort Benning Harley-Davidson and my buddy Rev for breaking down the tech specs of this 2020 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. If you guys are new to the channel, I bring you along with me as I merge my passions for photography and motorcycles. And recently I've been doing a lot of test ride videos. So if you like that type of motorcycle related content as well as photography related content, be sure to click that subscribe button below. And we're at it, don't forget to ring that bell icon to receive email alerts when I upload some new content. So we're out here on the interstate. Hopefully the audio is okay, but I'm gonna throw on some tunes and enjoy my ride out here doing what this bike is designed to do. And I will catch up with you guys after I get off of the interstate.
Into the black hole. Sing for my soul.
I can't help but laugh, guys. This is probably going to be an entire video of me just smiling inside my helmet and laughing. I'm going to have to really focus on bringing you guys like some pros and cons and what I would do to this thing, because man, oh man, this is just... You ever like, you see that friend with a newer car or a fixed up car, and they have that persona about them that just, you could tell they feel cool? That is definitely me right now. Man, this thing is bad. Hardly any miles on this bike too, so I'm not trying to, you know, get out here and clock a lot, because it is a brand new Harley-Davidson, a CVO Road Glide at that. So, and I'm not going too fast, going the speed limit about 70-75 miles an hour. You know, I did kind of stretch it out a little bit ago within reason, because, you know, it still has to go through a break-in process. But I could see why people like doing this type of bike for touring. Like, super comfortable. I'm not getting beat up at all by wind. I mean, I can feel a little bit in front of my face, but other than that, it's so smooth. No wind around my legs. Coming up the tank, I mean, gosh. I have a ride plan coming up with the Blue Bike and Doyle and my buddy William. We're gonna head on up to the Tail of the Dragon. I think we're trying to do it on the 8th of August. And I know I'm gonna get destroyed on the Dyna. It'd be nice to be in a situation to put myself on a bagger for that ride and just really enjoy it. All right, so we're going to my spot to capture the thumbnail of this CVO Road Glide. I'm gonna head on over here to the lake, maybe capture a few photos, because this thing is just gorgeous. I know I'm gonna get distracted with the camera. Try not to get too distracted, you know, that way I get back on the bike and beat this weather. It looks like it's wanting to kind of rain a little bit today, so I definitely don't want to get stuck out here on this bike in the rain. It's too beautiful to get rained on yet, and it's not mine. So yeah, you guys could see, look at all the geese. Paisley would think that was cool until one chases us. You guys could tell why I like coming down here. You know, lake, I don't know what lake this is, but it's gorgeous, nice and quiet. Have the lake backdrop. Just kind of my jam, especially being a photographer. But this van right here, I think, is going to try to take my spot. But yeah, this bike is something else. Super responsive as far as throttle and being able to, you know, handle it. It's not too bad, as you guys could tell. I mean, I'm backing it up right now. I'm a small guy. I'm 5'10", about 150 pounds, and it's not overbearing. I mean, it is a little uneasy feeling putting it over there on the kickstand, but again, it's not mine. So my goodness, look at this bike, guys. Unbelievable. Gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna capture the thumbnail and I'll catch up with you guys here in a second. Even little kids like the CVO Road Glide. Till you start it up and they hear that Harley purr. Got the thumbnail captured again, guys, here at the lake. Really enjoy this spot. I can get lost here with the camera. Luckily today, you know, I had this gorgeous bike to get behind, so really only captured like one shot here and decided to get back on there. So let's get into the pros and cons of the 2020 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. What do you guys say? I don't know. It's gonna be hard, guys. It's definitely gonna be a hard one today, because I come from a 2016 Harley-Davidson Dyna Fat Bob, and I'm riding a 2020 CVO Road Glide, so completely different bike than I'm used to. But I like the template of doing some pros and cons and what I would do with the bike, so we're gonna adapt. We're gonna overcome today, and I don't think it's gonna be too hard. Maybe just finding cons might be difficult, but we'll find some. Just don't want to sound nitpicky, because gosh dang, this bike is amazing. We're gonna take a little bit different route today too. Instead of going this back road all the way out there to Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, I'm gonna cut through Columbus, because I really want to feel what this bike feels like in and around traffic and going through the city, because it's big. So I kind of want to get an idea of what a bagger would feel like, because eventually one day I hope to add a bagger to the garage too. So I'm getting a little bit feel for myself as well. But some of the pros to this bike right off the bat, guys, and everybody mentions it, is the fixed fairing. I mean, I feel like, you know, I'm kind of taking the easy way out there, but it's hard to put into words until you actually ride with it. I mean, the handling and everything on this bike feels as smooth and light as my Dyna does. And part of it's because, I mean, look at how easy this bike, I'm able to just flick it around side to side, and it's big bike. Like, this is a very big bike, but because that fixed fairing is up there in front, it allows for that to, you know, the bike to stay really nimble. So I think it's great. And I kind of want to mention a little bit here, and I'm not going to mention any other brands, But if you're doing something right in this world, right, eventually somebody's going to try to copy what you're doing. And I think that has happened with the Road Glide. Just saying, guys, I'm a Harley guy, so I apologize, but we're not mentioning any other brands. I'm just saying, this definitely is an amazing platform, and anybody that rides the Road Glide now, when they mention that to me, I know exactly what they're talking about. This fixed fairing, it looks big, it looks like it's going to be really heavy, but it's not. Super easy to maneuver this bike. I mean, back there at the lake, I did a U-turn that I thought would be really hard for me on this bike. I did it with ease, did it almost easier than my Dyna. I don't know if it's because the bars are a little lower. But yeah, I would say first pro, definitely the fixed fairing. And now the second pro for this bike. I'm 5 foot 10 inches, about 150, 160 pounds. So I initially thought this bike would be kind of overpowering as far as weight goes, to get it up off the kickstand, maneuver it around. But the way that this bike puts you in the riding position is an extremely comfortable and like grounded foundation. So as you guys can see, I'm gonna come up here. Now it's a green light, but I'm gonna stop anyways. Look, I'm flat footing at 5 foot 10 inches. Definitely not too tall. I mean, maybe doing an aftermarket seat, you might want to be careful, especially if you're on the shorter end of it. But you sit down into this bike and it feels like this bike is hugging you as you ride. I mean, it's weird to kind of say that, but I definitely feel like engulfed, part of the bike, not just an accessory on the bike. That's kind of nice, especially when you're riding a real big bike like this, to feel like you and the bike kind of mesh as opposed to you fighting such a big machine. I would say it's a pro. This bike puts you in that riding position, extremely comfortable. I'm kind of getting a little older, so normally I get some lower back pain. I could see riding this and not having any issues at all for long distances because of the rider position. Yeah, it's not too heavy. I mean, definitely not too heavy. And like you said, with the stock seat and everything, I'm definitely able to flat foot it on both sides. Feel really comfortable. I mean, I don't have much room if I stand up between me and the seat, so it's kind of stretching my legs a bit. But again, I'm a shorter dude, so. And a third pro, which it's hard to limit it to just 3 on this amazing motorcycle. But a third pro, I would say the power. This 117 is incredibly smooth. I've ridden, you know, the FXDR 114. I've ridden the Softail Heritage 114. I've ridden my bike, which is a 2016 Dyna Fat Bob 103 twin cam, and the responsiveness, the smooth power that's through all gears, and especially back when I was on the interstate, I mean, was so incredible. I mean, I feel like you could cruise at 80, 85 miles an hour safely and get through traffic, get around, you know, big rigs, and have the power to still throttle down if you find yourself in a position to do so. The power is just unbelievable. And being a custom vehicle operations motorcycle, it's super cool to think that this bike is really built by just, you know, a small few of individuals at Harley-Davidson. It comes from a special team that puts these things together, and you could definitely tell. Now, sitting here at the light, you know, like I said, my 103 gets really, really hot. Now, it's kind of a humid day, overcast day, so it's a little bit different compared to the other test rides. But again, I could tell that the motor is going to stay fairly cool at idle. You know, the new Milwaukee 8, and then also too, a lot of the rattling and vibrations, I have none. I mean, I keep looking at my 360 camera and it's not even really bouncing around, guys. It's super smooth, and I'm riding a motorcycle on a bumpy Columbus, Georgia road. Man, I can't. I'm trying to think in my head how I could stretch this test ride video a little bit further than normal. But I want this relationship to keep going, so we'll make it quick. But getting into the cons, and I'm gonna have a hard time doing it, but getting into the cons, and remember, it's for me, right? It's not gonna be a con probably for everybody, because if you're a taller dude, most of these cons aren't gonna be a con for you. But being 5'10", kind of on the smaller side, I would say, you know, I would maybe like to be a little bit closer to the ground, especially with a big bike like this, but I still do have the ability to flat foot it at stops. And that's something you could change, you know, in the aftermarket seats and stuff like that. You could get a seat that kind of sits you lower to the ground. So again, it's a con for me, but not really a con of the bike. Yeah, so as we're coming up to the stops, I do kind of have to tiptoe it a little bit, because although I am 5'10", most of my height is from the waist up, so my legs are a little shorter. But once we're stopped, we're flat foot, so it's a con for me, but nobody else probably. I'm just that weird body type. Since we're stopped at a red light too, the second con would be how far the infotainment system is away from you as a rider. You know, and I hear a lot of people say that when they're riding a road glide compared to like a street glide, because the street glide, the fairing is not fixed, it's mounted to the handlebars, so it brings that kind of closer to you. With the road glide, it is really far away. So for me, being able to navigate that if I was riding or while riding. I'm gonna have to reach pretty far forward in order to get my arms out there. And at higher speeds, that wouldn't be a hard thing to do, but at lower speeds, I wouldn't want to be messing around with that and trying to, you know, operate this bike, especially like right here. Wouldn't want to be playing with that in and around traffic for sure, just because it kind of throws me forward a little bit. This thing seems like it would do really good in the city too. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking to hold on to the Dyna, because I do a lot of city riding, and having a bagger, you know, you definitely think it's mainly for touring, but the CVO Road Glide, and I'm sure any of the other platform bikes too, the bigger bikes, they're still really nimble and easy to maneuver through traffic. So that's kind of cool to be able to be on one right now and feel that difference, to kind of see that that's not the case. I'm definitely testing out my ability to come to stops on such a big bike. Columbus, I do it every time, guys. Columbus is the worst city to ride through and try to motovlog, because you have so many red lights. Listen to that idle of this bike. Can you guys hear it through my microphone? Oh, sounds nasty. That lup, 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 lup. I like it. Third con, and it's being forced, guys. All these cons are being forced. Definitely something that I wouldn't, if I purchased this bike, I would never complain about anything on this bike. But third con would be the height of the windshield. And I do know with the CVO and everything you see online, you know, it has that kind of performance bagger type look, wants that real sleek and fast looking bagger. So I get it. But on the interstate, having a higher windshield, as you guys could see back there when we were on the interstate, I put my hand directly in front of me, and I did still feel some air hitting me in the face. So if I wanted to kind of put myself in more of that air pocket, that bubble, and have the wind go up and over me, it's a simple fix in picking up, you know, a higher or taller windshield. So all these cons definitely could be mitigated with few like small adjustments, right? Minus how far away the infotainment system is. But then again, I mean, the more and more you ride something, the easier it gets. But I do like the gauges. I mean, I like being able to see the fuel gauge up there, the voltage of the battery, you know, the speedometer, tachometer right there in the middle. It just looks really clean. Like everything about this cockpit looks nasty. Like really like it. But let's get into my favorite part of doing these test ride videos. And as I mentioned, you know, I do a lot of photography. I do have fun doing that. And then also, I enjoy modding out my Harley-Davidson. Every Harley I look at, I could see, you know, what it is that I want that bike to look like. And just doing the walk around on this bike, I had so many ideas. So I'm excited to bring you a few things as far as mods go that I would do to this thing, you know, not right off the showroom floor, but over time. You know, my first top 3 modifications I would do to the CVO Road Glide. First and foremost, I would probably do a higher windshield. Especially if I'm going to be doing a lot of touring on the bike, I would want a little bit more wind protection when I'm out there on the open roads. It does the job, what's on there, but I would just like a little bit more, especially for vlogging purposes. Having a little bit better wind protection and not having it kind of, you know, hit me in the face of the helmet will make for a cleaner audio. So that's just me being a YouTuber, I guess. But yeah, first mod would probably upgrade the windshield. That way it puts me in that like pocket where it's free of any air hitting me in the face. But at the same time, that's part of the experience, man. Having that wind in your face, having a long stressful week, and just getting on your bike and going out there and feeling nature just breeze into your helmet and cool you down and let you reset. So, but I do really like the look of this windshield that's on here. Super clean. And second modification that I would do to this Road Glide would be probably a set of higher bars. I mean, I do like the position, but it kind of feels like I'm almost just cramped a little bit because they're back some with the pull back and everything. So I would definitely throw, you know, a set of apes. I wouldn't go T-bars because I wouldn't want to get in the way of my infotainment system. That's just me. A lot of guys do that performance bagger thing and it looks really, really good, but I would still like a free flowing cockpit and no, you know, issues getting around it. So I'd throw on a set of apes on here, maybe like 12, 14s just to get it up a little higher. I have real bad OCD, so I wouldn't want the bars to be higher than like the windshield. That's why I do the windshield first and then figure out the height of the bars, because I think I could go quite a bit higher and still have control over this bike and not put my hands above my shoulders. That's really ideal. As we're pulling up here to the last light that I'll probably get stopped at here in Columbus, before we get back to Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, let's do the third modification that I would do. And it's a toss-up because I would really want to do maybe like an aftermarket seat to kind of, you know, squat me down a little bit lower. I really like my Whiplash Gambler seat. I feel like it sunk me into my bike a little bit. So maybe we'll look at that. But before doing the seat, because this seat that comes on the CVO is crazy comfortable. I mean, definitely could, you know, get out there on the open highway and throw down some miles on this stock seat, which is nice. So I probably would overlook the seat initially. I'd probably look at doing some sort of like backrest or possibly detachable touring pack. And not because of storage, but because you guys know I ride with the kids. And so really like a sissy bar or some sort of backrest is needed for the types of riding I do, because I do take the kids out everywhere I go with me, and having that added support back there with them would be something that I'd have to do if I was trying to sell the wife on buying a bike like this. Be like, oh, well, I could still take the kids. So that would probably be like the first mod, actually, before the windshield and the bars. We'll get either, you know, a backrest or sissy bar or a tour pack, because these would still look really good with the tour pack. I don't want to stop riding this bike, guys. I really don't. Man, I don't want to stop, but it's all right. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you like today's video, be sure to click that subscribe button right here. And if you'd rather stick around and watch a few more of my videos, I'll throw up a video here and here. Like always, guys, I really appreciate the support. Thanks for tuning in to another video. And this is MotoSarge signing out from a Road Glide CVO. My goodness.